If you were to ask me who is the greatest superhero in the DC universe, I would say that he is also one of the most unrecognized superheroes in the DC universe, the Martian Manhunter.
La 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 la, wait till I get my money right.
Now, it's okay if a superhero is not very well known sort of publicly, because nobody knew who Iron Man was before the first movie came out, but now he's one of the most popular characters. But it's a very different story when one of the main guys that is building DC Cinematic Universe is so painfully ignorant and disrespectful to a major character that it makes you want to scream in frustration at the top of your lungs. Apparently, David Goyer doesn't care much for good old Jonn Jonzz. He thinks that the name Martian Manhunter is stupid because, that could never work, right? It's only been that way for 50 years so far. He thinks his origins should be swapped out and replaced with being grown in a petri dish in Area 51 because, that's a really original idea. We've never seen anything like that before. Clearly David Goyer either doesn't know anything about the character or he just doesn't care. But either way, I'm going to explain why Martian Manhunter is the greatest superhero in the DC universe. Most superheroes have an element of tragedy to their origins, but none more so than poor old Jonn Jonzz. His origins have been rewritten a few times, as is always the case in comics, but the main elements are always the same. When human civilization was in its infancy, Martian civilization on Mars was booming, and Jonn Jonzz had a wife, kids, family, and had a mostly happy life. That is, until war broke out, killing billions of people, and then this psychic virus is released by his own brother that wipes out every living thing on the planet except him. Everything and everyone is dead, including his wife and his kids, and then he has to spend thousands of years wandering the desolate wasteland of what used to be his planet. I mean, you think Superman had it rough when his world was destroyed when he was just a baby. Well, Martian Manhunter had it happen as an adult, and he had to witness it all with his own eyes. You think Batman was scarred by seeing his parents get murdered, and he was doomed to a lonely existence. Well, Martian Manhunter witnessed not only his entire family, but everyone he has ever known die. And how lonely would he have felt spending thousands of years wandering a world that is nothing more than a giant graveyard? Believe me, this makes anything that any superhero has ever been through look like nothing in comparison. But he survived. He is the ultimate survivor, in fact. Now, that is a much more interesting backstory than just being grown in a petri dish in Area 51. Martian Manhunter is also called the Swiss Army knife of superheroes because he has so many different powers. Apart from the standard ones of flight, super speed, super strength, he also has shape-shifting, invisibility, intangibility, where he can walk through walls, telepathy, hypnotism, he can read minds. He has a version of heat vision and X-ray vision, and many, many, many others. He would easily be the most powerful member of the Justice League if it wasn't for one fundamental weakness. Fire. Yep, despite all his amazing abilities, he has one of the biggest Achilles heels ever. Kryptonite is hard to get a hold of, but anybody can make fire. That argument that everybody uses, that Superman doesn't have enough weaknesses to make you feel like he's ever in any real danger, well, Martian Manhunter does. And it's a very interesting contrast for his character that he's got so much raw power, but he can also be so fragile, in some ways more fragile than humans in that sense. And add to that his vulnerability to fire is not just because of the physical damage it can do to him, it's also a psychological weakness as well, because the psychic virus that killed off his people was a type of telepathic fire. So he has a major phobia of fire, which makes him a much more interesting and heroic character. Because his weakness is also connected to his inner demons and the pain over the death of his people and the guilt that he feels because it was his brother who was responsible. So to overcome that weakness, he has to overcome his own inner demons as well. And that's what being a hero is all about. It's not just about beating up the bad guys, it's about the hero's internal struggle at the same time. And in Martian Manhunter's case, all of that is wrapped up just perfectly in his primary weakness. He is a true hero. The statement that he is a true hero is backed up by the fact that he is considered the heart and soul of the Justice League. He is the most loyal, committed, and dedicated member of the Justice League. He actually lives in the Watchtower. When everyone else is off living their alter ego lives, when Wonder Woman's busy on Paradise Island, when Aquaman's off running Atlantis, where's Martian Manhunter? He's at his post in the Watchtower, on guard, 24/7, no matter what. We always know Martian Manhunter is watching over the Earth, keeping it safe. But despite everything that we do know about the character, his true nature is still somewhat of a mystery. Nobody really knows just exactly what he is capable of. In the Martian Manhunter 1000 comic, where it takes us way forward into the distant future, we see that Martian Manhunter has actually merged with the planet of Mars itself, kind of becoming like the soul, the living embodiment of the planet, and has basically become kind of like a god of sorts. So who knows what Martian Manhunter truly is or what he can be. He's a very mysterious character at heart. He has all of the ingredients to be the best character in the DCU. He's got amazing backstory, challenging weaknesses, a heroic internal struggle, an element of mystery, massively powerful, thousands of years old, and a rich and deep history and psychology. He is not a character that should be brushed aside, sidelined, or disrespected, or taken lightly in any way. So you better watch your step, Mr. Goyer, because we're going to be watching. So, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Question. No doubt we will eventually see Martian Manhunter in the movies. So what actor would you like to see play him the most? I personally have always thought that Lawrence Fishburne would have been perfect to play Martian Manhunter, but I guess he can't now because he's playing Perry White. But I suppose they could still have him play Martian Manhunter because underneath all the green makeup and prosthetics and that, it would kind of get away with it. Or you could just say, since he's a shapeshifter, Perry White is one of the forms he takes on. That might upset a few people, but I just really want to see Lawrence Fishburne as Martian Manhunter. That would be fantastic. He's got the voice for it. He's great. But who would you like to see play Martian Manhunter? Put it in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Just before you guys go, I want to give you guys an update about the comic that I'm writing, the Soul comic, because some of you guys have been asking for more information of when it's coming out, how you can find it and stuff like that. The first issue is going to be coming out within a couple of weeks, and I'm actually going to be linking it at the end of my What Star Wars The Phantom Menace Should Have Been video, which should be out within a few weeks as well. So you'll be able to click on the link at the end of that video, and that will take you straight to the comic, and it will be free to download, totally free to download, will not cost you a single cent to read it. There is a Kickstarter for the comic if you guys want to help out. I feel uncomfortable bringing it up, but do not feel like you're obligated to donate anything at all, because you totally are not. I personally hate it when channels keep trying to milk money from their subscribers, because that's not what YouTube is supposed to be about. You know, you get your money from the advertisers, not from your viewers. That's the way it is. That's the way it always should be. That's why the first issue of the comics is going to be free to download. But if you do feel like you want to contribute something, here's the link to the Kickstarter. But again, do not feel like you have to at all. Or if you think maybe I'll read the first issue and then decide, up to you, totally up to you. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.